So I'm recording this audio on Sunday night right after Game 7 of the NBA Finals just wrapped up. And there's no script, there's no real formula. I really just wanted to talk into a mic and share my thoughts. What happened in the first quarter was an absolute tragedy. And if you have a single competitive bone in your body, then your heart has got to break for Tyrese Haliburton. I know I was, as he was banging the floor over and over again, saying, no, no, no. Based on the instant replay, we saw his leg pop, we saw his muscle twitch, like we've seen so many times before when guys have torn their Achilles. And no, we haven't got an official diagnosis yet that he did in fact tear his Achilles, but we all know that's exactly what happened. We've seen this happen too many times, and now we have 3 Achilles that were torn in these NBA playoffs alone. I don't know why this injury just seems to be more and more common, but it's truly tragic that it's happening yet again to the guy who was the most clutch player in these playoffs by far. I honestly think this will go down as the greatest what if in NBA Finals history. And some people are going to say that's too much, some people are going to say I'm being a slave of the moment. But seriously, just think about it for a minute. When has a superstar player, the floor general, the guy who was leading his team to the NBA Finals with one of the most clutch shooting runs that we've ever seen in the history of the league, gone down in the first quarter of the 7th game with a devastating injury? Don't get me wrong, injuries have affected the NBA Finals many times in the past, sometimes even in recent history. Andrew Bogut missing Game 7 for the Warriors in the 2016 Finals was huge. Even Kendrick Perkins of the Boston Celtics missing Game 7 of the 2010 Finals. I can go on, but you notice what the theme is there? I keep saying role players. This was a superstar player who was extremely hot in the first quarter, going down in the 7th game when it all mattered the most. Now listen, I already see it online. Everybody is trying to discredit this OKC team, but they won 68 games throughout the regular season, and they made it all the way to Game 7 of the NBA Finals before this thing happened. They might have won the NBA championship even if Haliburton was still in the game. We don't know, but they earned this ring, they earned this opportunity, and they made the most of it. Their defense is incredible, and I look forward to ranking them in the future as one of the greatest defensive teams of all time. SGA once again had an MVP performance, as he dropped 29 points, got 12 assists, and 5 rebounds. And I did criticize Chet Holmgren in the past for playing soft in these playoffs, but it was the complete opposite on this night, as he was very physical and a defensive monster throughout, getting a tremendous amount of blocked shots. You also got to give a ton of credit to these Indiana Pacers, as they fought passionately even after their superstar player went down. Guys like Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, and especially TJ McConnell had no quit in them whatsoever. But at the same time, it was clear that their offense just wasn't itself, as there was nearly a full quarter stretch where TJ McConnell was the only Indiana player who made a basket. That's simply not going to get it done on the game's biggest stage. And let's just call it like it is. Keeping your team healthy for the NBA playoffs matters as well. That's part of competing. That's part of winning a championship. Maybe somebody on the medical team of Indiana needs to be looked at, because this was their 3rd Achilles injury of the season. Whether or not it's something they could have prevented or it's just a freak accident, the reality is you do get rewarded for being healthy when the games matter the most. As a whole, I was very pleased with these NBA Finals, but this one is going to sit on our minds for quite a while, and it's going to have a lot of people asking themselves, what if? If this Indiana team would have won the championship, then they would have been talked about in basketball lore for many, many years to come. Heck, for many, many decades to come. But now, as the runner-up, I think they're going to be turned into one of those teams that gets somewhat lost in NBA history over time. And it'll be up to people like me and you future NBA content creators watching to make NBA videos about this team 10 to 20 years from now. Now, it's probably too early to talk about Shai's place among the all-time greats, but this Finals MVP did something that very few players have done in NBA history. This year, he led the league in scoring, he won the MVP award, and he won the Finals MVP in the same season. The only other players in NBA history to achieve that were Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and Shaquille O'Neal. That is some pretty darn good company. And to make it even more specific, SGA and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are the only players to do it by the age of 26. This guy still has so many elite years ahead of him, so it'll be exciting to see if he can maintain it next season. But based on the way this NBA decade is going, it seems like we're having a different NBA champion every year. It would be nice to say that it would be Indiana's turn, but with an Achilles tear so late in the season, you worry about Tyrese's ability to play any of next season as well. We'll just have to wait and see. But now it's your guys' turn. What do you think about SGA and this OKC team? Are they one of the greatest defensive teams that you've ever seen? And now that he's a Finals MVP, what is the potential for SGA? Just how high of a ceiling does he actually have? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.